Caballero, the holidays are already here, and us Latinos like to wait until the last minute to find the perfect holiday gift. But why not get the perfect gift early? Claro, I'm talking about the Perfect Jean. I've been gushing about the Perfect Jean for years. The stretch and comfort are unmatched. And they just released a new premium 99% cotton version of their jeans. They got that old school jeans look con un poquito de stretch for that perfect jean comfort we love. Think classic meets comfort that's a bit more breathable. Our favorite combo. But it's not just their jeans that are perfect. I'm also tremendo fan of their perfect tees. Made with 95% cotton and 5% spandex, these tees are durable, but more importantly, hug you in the right places to make you look and feel great. Hell, it turns a dad bod like mine into a sexy poppy bod. And it wouldn't be a perfect jean spot without a discount. Use code BERREL20 for 20% off your first order at theperfectjean.nyc. Así que don't wait until the last minute. Get the perfect gift with the perfect jean today. And don't forget to use code BERREL20 for 20% off your first order.
This is DJ.
And this is Ish.
And this is
Season
Season
6
6 of Better Let Me Tell You.
Well, it is the last episode of the year. Yeah, that's it. El año se terminó.
Are we recording?
Yes, we are recording.
Okay, well, I'm happy that it is. Welcome to episode... What episode is it?
281.
281, the final episode of Season 6 of...
I like that you had to look at the posters.
20... What year are we in? 2023.
The year of our Lord, 2023, yes.
So, we just wanted to do one final episode this year to wish everybody a Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. Whatever it is you celebrate or don't celebrate, we wish you all the best.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, I mean, whatever. It's probably like, St. Patrick's Day already by the time we finish recording this.
By the time we finish recording this, the dollar store will have Easter ornaments.
So how was Disney? Because I know you went last week. Was it La Locura de Disney World? Or, I mean, I saw the pictures. You looked like you were having a good time. And you enjoyed your Carousel of Progress, which is always the main goal, I think.
We did have a good time, and for those of you who have not been to Disney in a while, I hadn't been to Disney. I mean, I go to Disney all the time, but I hadn't been since before the pandemic. So it had been, I don't know, 3.5, 4 years. And everything at Disney is different now. Everything is through the Lightning Lane or everything is through the app.
Okay.
Actually, all of it is through the app, from the entrance to the wait times to the, what they call it now, a Lightning Pass or Fast Pass, to ordering food, to the schedules. Everything is on the app.
Even the food.
Everything is on the app. I mean, you could still go and order food the regular way, but they do have a pre-ordering feature on the app where you can order whatever, and then you go to the restaurant and you pick it up when your number's called. So it's all by the app, which is actually a good idea. But I just think that if they're going to make you rely on the app so much, they need to have chargers throughout the park.
They don't?
No.
Oh, wow. Do they have Wi-Fi?
They don't. Everything, your pictures, everything is on the app. So we had a great time, and this is a secret, but it's not a secret, so I shouldn't be sharing the secret, not to ruin it. But the week that we went, which is usually the first weekend of December. So it's after the Thanksgiving rush, but before the Christmas rush. It's a very, very, very small window of time that exists in Disney World, literally in Disney World, where the parks are not crowded at all.
Oh, okay.
And that's very, very rare. Even like the top the top attractions like Tron in the Magic
how,
Kingdom.
How was Tron?
Tron was amazing. It didn't have more than an hour wait for people who did not have the fast pass, which, usually it'll be like a 3-day wait when you go to peak time. But it never fails, never, that the attraction with the highest wait time at the Magic Kingdom is
Peter Pan.
always.
What was it compared to everybody else?
Always. It had a 70-minute wait. It had a longer wait than Tron.
Then Tron? Coño.
Than Tron. It had a longer wait than Tron. I've actually read upon this. The reason why Peter Pan takes so long is because it could only put like 2, maximum 3 people in each little gondola thing that flies. So that's why. But it was fine. It was lovely. It was Disney World. Everything's expensive and overpriced, but we know that already. So we're not charting new territory here.
Yeah, but at least the weather was nice. Por lo menos no era el calor
The weather was
de
very, very
verano.
nice. The weather was very, very nice. So, anyway, what is
By the
everybody
way,
doing for Christmas?
You got a haircut. I'm just noticing that. Está bien lindo. Está bien cute.
Thank you. I was debating growing up my hair again, but then I was like, I'm not going to. So screw that. Anyway, so how is everybody doing for Christmas?
I think at this point everybody's either all in or all out. Like they're either ready or they're scrambling.
No, there's still time.
Yeah, but this is like, I mean, by the time you hear this Friday, the countdown is on. Like the last week is coming up before Christmas hits.
The last week.
Yeah, next week. Like, o sea, this airs on Friday, the 15th, and then that's it. So then you've got 7 days. It's 7. It would be the 22nd. So like, yeah, you're hitting that last week of pre-Christmas Christmas.
I don't know what that insanity means, but anyway, I hope everybody's having a lovely time.
I think people are having a lovely time. What I will say, though, and I'll transition, is I want to thank you specifically, Darian, for posting something on our Instagram that has taken an unexpected turn in terms of engagement.
The Miami Fort Lauderdale thing.
Yeah, so I love how it's like we started with the post that we did about Marcelo and Bad Bunny and Pedro Pascal. That got a lot. Then the Cuban Santa got a lot. Then Your Mother and the Boniatos got a lot. It's like they're taking turns. Now it's the turn of the white girls versus the Latina girls dancing, and it has taken the most like vicious turn in the comment section.
Well, for those of you who haven't caught on, so here's the thing. So in our Instagram, I posted. This is nothing new.
It's nothing
First
new.
of all, it's a repost from Only in Dade that they posted maybe a month or 2 ago, and so it's a viral video about comparing Fort Lauderdale to Miami. And the Fort Lauderdale video is this video that went viral last year when they were doing the Cup It Up challenge with Beyonce.
Right.
Of these like white girls completely out of rhythm, all dancing to what it seems like a different song. And then that's the Fort Lauderdale version. And then the Miami version is like a bunch of girls dancing very Latina in sync to Bad Bunny, to Titi Me Pregunto. It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be a joke.
Cultural differences.
Some people even were like, bro, Fort Lauderdale's so much better. You're talking about West Palm. Miami is
right.
Those type of stabs and jokes, they're perfectly fine. If we're dishing it out, we have to take it. And that's totally fine. Actually, that's great. But and the video, what I think is funny about the post is that I posted that, I don't know, more than a week ago or maybe
almost
2
a month
weeks ago.
Yeah.
And it got a little traction when I first posted it. Then it sort of died down. But then it just, in the last couple of days, it has exploded. And now it has, 150,000 views?
Something like that, yeah, some crazy number.
But now, whereas the comment section was first funny, and again, we were taking jabs at each other, and we were commenting as well, responding to the jabs. It took, as it always does online, a serious turn that now people are slut shaming and it's become racial, and I'm like, this is why we can't have pretty things.
Right. Yeah. I just think it's hilarious. I will say though, even though whatever, we're not going to respond to all these comments because at this point people are literally having arguments amongst themselves. So like, we're not going to get involved in that
right
bullshit.
Now, it has 434 comments, and it has oh my god, it has 372,000 views as of the time that we're recording this. And again, this was a repost from Only and Dave.
We didn't create anything.
Come up with this content.
Yeah, but my what I will say is, you know what, guys? Continue commenting, continue liking, because you're pushing it into the algorithm, and our followers keep growing. So thank you for helping us continue to grow at the end of the day.
But, it just goes to show what we've talked about several times, that something that is posted in an innocent or fun way that takes a life of its own and it turns into something else that it shouldn't have to. But it is what it is. And that's just, when you post content online, whether you're podcasters like us or you're just an individual, you don't know what way people decide they're going to take it. So
yeah, that's what it comes down to.
It is what it is. But I just thought it was funny. It is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny.
It is funny. On the face of it, it's a lighthearted jab is what it is, Yeah,
that's why I tell you, like, the people that were like, oh, no, bro, Miami, Fort Lauderdale is that, Miami sucks. This is West Palm. Yeah, we dished it out, so we got to take it. That's fun. That's fun. But then, when it takes that nasty, nasty turn,
Yeah.
So
yeah. My favorite was my favorite was the one that said video on the right, which is the white girls, is like, credit score 800. The girls on the left credit score 300. And I'm like, that's racist, but at least you're kind of couching it in something something kind of clever, I would say. At least it's a new way of approaching it.
I have to say that the recent post or content that we put on, I don't know if you listeners if all of you have seen it. I really enjoyed the one I posted about what, Americans eat for the holidays, like pumpkin pie and apple pie, and then we're stuck with turrón. And I'm sorry, I say this every single year. I'm not saying something new, our listeners have not heard.
It's almost a tradition at this point.
Turrón sucks. It's just not good. I'm sorry. I know our Spanish ancestors are rolling in their graves, but turrón is not good. It's just, I don't like it. I shouldn't say it's not good because there's people who enjoy it. My mom loves el turrón de yema tostada or la ajonjolí. That's her jam.
And those are like legit turrón. Like when you say turrón, that's turrón, not the chocolate and almond, because you're just having a chocolate bar.
Right. What do we always say? Turrón is nougat. And what is nougat?
Turrón.
Yeah. So... Anyway, to our listeners, we may sound a little funny right now, but that's because we're in different states.
Yes.
So tell the people where you're at.
Well, I'm up in the mountains of North Carolina, my parents' cabin again. It is cold as all get out. Today actually was the coldest. It was 31 degrees. Like when I woke up this morning, I actually had to take the stuff to the dump because they don't come and pick up garbage in the mountains. You have to take it to the dump, and there was frost all over the car. Like I had to sit in the car and wait for it to defrost, which is nice. I love it. I love coming up here. We had the fireplace going. We went out. We got some ribs, some barbecue at a local barbecue joint. It's just nice, to change it up a little bit. And get away. Like, honestly, we come up here and thank God we have Wi-Fi now, because that's how we're recording this episode. But it's just nice to come up here and, like, you know what? Not do anything for a week, or at most go into town and go candle shopping, because that's what we do up here. Pero, I don't know. It's just nice. It's really, really chilly up here, which, I mean, look, in Miami, it's never going to be chilly. Like, not officially, not reliably. So we're hoping that maybe it flurries a little bit while we're up here. But, yeah, I try to come up here at least once a year,
What is it about Cubans in North Carolina and Tennessee? We've yet to crack the code.
We have yet to crack the code. I think mostly, it's more Tennessee. And I think now there's starting to be overflow into North Carolina because, Tennessee's only so big. But yeah, what is it that they call it? The Cuban Riviera? Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg?
It's the Cuban Aspen.
Maybe it's because we all just really love Dolly Parton.
You think so?
I think so. You know, she's from Pigeon Forge. She's got Dollywood there. Maybe that's what it is. We all just want to feel closer to Dolly and her warmth and her bosom.
No. I was just I finished putting up the tree today on Fake Friday, and it took me over a week to put up the tree. I mean, granted, well, no.
Well, you
I
were
got
away
the
for a
tree-
couple days.
I got the tree 10 days ago. No, 11 days ago. I was gone for 4. But that's still 7 days, and that thing has just been on there. And, like, I've been so busy, and there's been so many things going on that I just haven't had time to, like, properly devote to putting up the damn tree. But I finally put it up. And, you know, I think I've said this before. You know, the cards people send you
Yes.
throughout the years? I keep them, and then
So do
I
I.
display them again. Do you keep the cards?
I keep the cards. I don't display them, but I do keep them. I have a shoebox full of all the Christmas cards that I've ever gotten.
Yeah, I display them because some of them are really pretty. And do that. It's just funny how, and this is not a criticism to one side or the other. It's just funny how there's Christmas card people and then there's not.
Yeah, I try. I always want to be a Christmas card person every year. I'm always like, I'm going to send Christmas cards this year. You know, I have friends in other states and whatever. But then it always inevitably just becomes like, I don't want to go to the post office and buy stamps. And then I have to sit there and, you know, what do I write to everybody? And it's like, I'll just send a Merry Christmas text on the day before and call it a day. Like,
So I only send Christmas cards, and when I mean Christmas cards, I mean like I buy a box of Christmas cards.
yeah, same.
To my Michigan law school friends, because they're all very kind and they send me like beautiful Christmas cards.
Oh, okay.
And so I always send it to them. And that's it.
Okay. But that's like, what, 10 people, more or less?
Yeah, it's a few people, but that's it. I don't send it to nobody else, so nobody got offended. I just, I don't know. I do the same thing every year. I'm like, I'm gonna do Christmas cards, and then I'm like, but no, like there's so I'm always busy, and then now planning Christmas cards, it's like
It's not necessary. Actually, the only Christmas cards that I do with any frequency every year are the ones that I give you all, and that's only because since every year I give you guys the mini ornament that I have kind of made into my own tradition, without
by the way,
knowing it.
I put up your tree this just now.
Oh, there's a tree with all my little ornaments.
Yes, you should tell our listeners your tradition.
So every year when we all get together for our friends' Christmas party, you know, Christmas dinner, we do Secret Santa and all of that. But every year, God, how many years have I been doing this now? I don't even know how long. Like, because I don't remember when I started that part of the tradition. But I give everybody a Christmas card, and attached to the Christmas card is a little mini ornament. So maybe one year it's like a little mini, those little like glitter candies or mini nutcrackers, mini superheroes. Just again, you go to, it's like from the dollar store, right? So you and I know another friend of ours also have taken it upon themselves to every year have like a mini tree where they add each of my little ornaments every year. And I don't know, it's just become this nice little tradition now where I every year I look forward, I'm like, okay, what's the mini ornament going to be for next year? And just a little peek behind the curtain, I actually buy them on the 26th of December because they're much cheaper, and como no se echan a perder, I can keep them for the next year. So I just do that. And then of course there's also the tradition that I have where I buy the crackers, where, you know, we all pop the crackers.
Tell the people about the crackers.
Like if we are British people. Again, for anybody who's watched, I guess, Harry Potter might know what a Christmas cracker is. It's a long cylinder that has like everybody pulls on both ends, and inside there's a joke, a crown, and like a little boberia. You know, it can be a little toy, it can be I don't know, like a candy, sometimes it's a keychain, a lighter. It's just random ass crap. But that's also something that one year I decided this will be fun to bring to Christmas dinner, and X years later, it has now become a tradition where we, you know, friends of ours are even like,
we always pop the. You know what I was going to say? We always pop the crackers right before we're going to do our gift exchange.
yeah, and then we all try to put on. Well, we all put on our crowns, and then we all watch as you try to put on yours. because apparently
Right, which-
British people's heads are tiny.
Apparently. So
And it's weird
yeah, those
because,
are cute little
you know,
Christmas tradition.
we have little traditions. Actually, this year's Christmas dinner should be fun, as with every year. Did you see the menu for this year?
No,
It's Mediterranean.
really.
I love you were like kind of looking at like your notes about what you're going to talk about, and all of a sudden your head just went up and looked me straight in the eye, like huh? Yeah, it's going to be Mediterranean.
You know what? Okay, I'm gonna take a few guess here. Was this picked by who's hosting this year?
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
That's why it's Mediterranean. Anyway,
Well, I for
I
one,
would not expect anything less of my dear friend.
listen. The British have Christmas pudding. This year, we're going to have Christmas hummus. It's
Listen, a holiday hummus is always a good thing.
ooh, a holiday hummus. I love an alliteration. Okay, holiday hummus it is.
Right.
Change approved.
Right. So, I guess this year I have to make up Pierna.
Oh, you're for Nochebuena?
Yeah.
But why do you wait? They're not gonna make a lechon?
No, they do. They make a pork, but I also make, like, I don't know, around Christmas time, a Pierna.
Oh, okay. No.
So-
It sounded like you were making it in lieu of, and I was like, wait, what happened? Is your father
Right.
like somewhere on crutches? Like what? Like
My Pierna with cracklings.
oh, that was good.
Yeah, I do a Pierna that's like really good. I have to share the recipe with our followers, with our listeners and followers, because it's really good. But basically, I cut the skin of the Pierna in a way that the cracklings or the chicharrones are right there, and you just pull them out. So
It's so fucking good.
it's a lot of fun.
It's a spin on the pellejito essentially.
Yes. So I hope all of our listeners are having a good like holiday season up to now.
I'm sure they are. Especially if they didn't have to deal with like you and I didn't have to deal with Art Basel traffic last weekend.
Oh my god, I can't with it. Like I can't. I can't with Art Basel. And you know the thing about Art Basel is that when Art Basel, I don't know when it first started, but when it
Earlier, right?
like it wasn't even that long ago, because I don't think that 10 years is that
Let's say
long
5.
in terms of like the totality of an event. Like it was great because you would go. I mean, it would be full, but it's not crazy, and you would see artists. But now it's become a pretentious thing.
Yep.
That it's not about. It's not. Yes, there are still instances where people legitimately show their art, but now it's about shock value and performance art.
Yeah, and you and I are not necessarily fans of performance art as a whole.
We're not.
We're just not.
We're not. Tilda Swinton in a box is Tilda Swinton in a box.
And there's value in that. I just don't think there's value in it as performance art.
Right. So, it is what it is. But it's Art Basel, and it's like a big deal. And then people, I remember that last year they had the whole.
Was last year the ATM?
The ATM. That's like the most Miami thing ever.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. What did they have this year? I know they had like a.
They had 2 people dressed up, I don't know, as worms in the floor, like tirándose. You didn't see it?
Okay, that in the grand scheme of Art Basel is pretty tame if you really stop and think about it. Like that's
I'm
low-key.
sorry. And una como mierdería. I'm sorry. And you know what? If I were an artist with like an actual real medium, like a sculptor, a painter,
Right.
that even a graffiti artist, that it has like this
Something
talent and this
tangible.
skill. And I'm showing my art at Art Basel, and you have all these people lining up to see Dos Gente Tirar el Piso, acting like worms. I'd be so upset. Like, so upset.
So then I shouldn't move forward with my proposal for us to be at Art Basel next year doing mime of a cajachina as performance art.
What did you say?
I'm gonna propose next year that you and I have a piece at Art Basel where we're mimes, but we're miming doing a cajachina. You don't think I should proceed with that then?
I don't know. Good luck with that. Let me know how it turns out.
I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'll put it on the calendar.
I'll let you know. So, yeah.
Christmas is here, the time of year we start baking for family and friends. So many recipes out there call for water, but substituting milk makes a much richer tasting treat. O sea, nobody leaves Santa Claus water in cookies. It's not just baked goods either. From hot chocolate, flan, or coquito, so many holiday treats are irresistible because of dairy. This holiday season, find the perfect recipe by visiting floridamilk.com or lechedeflorida.com. Feliz Navidad from your Florida dairy farmers, and pero let me tell you.
Oh, Dios mío. Well, I wanted to actually. You had mentioned, when we were talking about the white girls earlier and the dancing and all that. Obviously that means Taylor Swift, and she was recently named Times Person of the Year, right? But in addition to that, I came across actually today a statistic from Vivo. I don't know if it's Vivo or Vevo, the music, the online music video. It's Vivo.
Yeah, I say Vivo.
All right, so Vivo, they're basically the online MTV, for lack of a better way of putting it. They released their most watched artists this year, and unsurprisingly, while Taylor Swift was the most watched artist in the U.S. with 650 million views, who do you think was the most watched artist globally for the third time, for the third year in a row? I was a little surprised by this.
Bad Bunny?
No.
Maluma?
Nope. You're in the right field, but no. Just one more guess.
Karol G.
Karol G, with 4.7 billion views globally. I honestly was taken aback. I was like, wow, I didn't realize. And again, it's I'm bringing it up because of what we talked about a little bit last week, which is, Spanish language music really having its moment. I didn't realize that the moment was that big, globally. And then
Karol G's enormous. Karol G. You have to remember also that we don't get the Karol G of it all, because even though she's broken through American media to a certain extent, she's not going to get the attention that a Beyonce gets or a Taylor Swift gets, right? Because she's just not, because she's Latin. But, Karol G sold out. She was on a stadium tour. People talk about the Renaissance tour and the Eras tour. Karol G was on tour this summer, and she was selling out stadiums.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Huge stadiums around the world. She sold out Hard Rock Stadium here.
Oh, I didn't know.
Okay, again, you don't see it in terms of media and maybe your algorithm.
Right.
But I know a bunch of people that went to see her when she was here a few months ago. She was here a week after Beyonce was here, so end of August.
Okay, yeah. So it was, the summer, the height. But that's interesting. Again, I think for me, it's just like, I know Karol G's big, but until you see a number like 4.7 billion, it doesn't hit you. You know what I mean? Like the magnitude of it. Because obviously, I know who Karol G is. We live in Miami, which is very Latino. She's not foreign to us, no pun intended. But 4.7 billion views? That's a shit ton of views.
Also, while Taylor Swift and Beyonce are very big around the world, Beyonce, her Renaissance tour started in Europe, and she sold out stadiums there. I think Taylor Swift, the Eras tour is going to Europe next year. But they sell out stadiums around the world. But they're still the most popular here in their home country. Whereas Karol G's also famous around the world. All over the world. And so it's just, I think our perspective is a little skewed, because since we live in the United States, it's sort of a little bit taking it back, to the early aughts, when someone like Robbie Williams was the biggest pop star in the world.
Yep.
The world. Robbie Williams in his 2003 concert in Nebworth, I think there was like 200,000 people at his concert. At the time, he broke a world record.
Yep.
as like the concert with the most people. I don't know if he still holds that. And he was by far the biggest pop star in the world, including Latin America. Yet here, we saw him at the Encore Theater, which had maybe capacity for 2,000 people.
If that.
But in London, in England, there was 200,000 people going to go see him. And so I think this is a little bit, it's similar, it's different in the sense that Karol G is widespread her popularity. She could fill up stadiums here and in Europe, but it's similar in the sense that you don't hear it or see it here as much as in other parts.
Interesting. I never thought about the comparison with Robbie, but that makes total sense.
But that's sort of like last year, the most streamed album worldwide was Un Verano Sin Ti by Bad Bunny.
Right, but I feel like that album you could not escape. Right? Like we talked about this where it's like that album Bad Bunny became in this world of curated everything where you kind of only know what you know and know what you watch and your grandmother doesn't necessarily know what you know, where we no longer have the Michael Jacksons and the Madonnas that everybody just kind of knows who they are and the song. He kind of surpassed that. Like he crossed that line and he sort of brought that back. I think, whether you like him or not, it became just this monstrosity of a hit that you could not escape. And I don't necessarily know, at least here in the US, I have to speak to that Karol G has had that same impact as far as I understand it.
I mean, yes and no, because when you look at like Latin Music Awards and all that, she sweeps all of them.
Right, but what I mean is,
so I mean, I look, with what you said, I'm surprised, but I'm not surprised. Like, if you would have asked me who was the most streamed or viewed artist in the world, I would have not guessed Karol G. But when you tell me Karol G, I'm also not surprised it's Karol G.
Right.
Well, that makes sense.
In all fairness, she was your third guess, so clearly she was at least in your top 5.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed she was the top, but it doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
No, good for her.
No, good for her. Listen. All these, girls with the first name and one letter last name. You got your Becky G's, your Karol G's, your Nadi Natashas. All these girls.
Que viva Colombia.
Have at it. It's funny. Shakira was actually, to kind of tie back to what we talked about last week. Shakira was the second most viewed artist globally.
Yeah. Yeah, she had a huge song with Te Como Tu.
Yes. Nothing will put you into the stratosphere like talking about your cheating ex.
Yeah. Salpica. That's part of that song.
That's a great word. That's a word that doesn't really have an English translation.
Salpicachos.
Yeah, like...
Well, I mean, it has a literal translation, but not...
Yeah, but like...
Not how most people do it.
No, you wouldn't say... And I can't even think of what the literal translation of it is now, but you wouldn't say to somebody in English, whatever that is, like, salpica, like, get out of here. You wouldn't use that as the thing. Wait, what is the literal translation of salpica in English?
Oh, moving right along, if you want to hear a funny story. So, Tristan watched Home Alone 1 and 2, and then he was like, oh, is there any other movies that he did? Like, yeah, actually, there are different. Another movie that he did. Let's watch The Good Son.
Oh no, did you?
We did.
You did. That movie is not as bad as you think it is, right? In terms of like, what's the rating? A PG-13?
It's rated R.
Oh, it's R. Oh, okay.
Rated R. Yeah. There's animal cruelty and abuse. He says bad words, and then at the end, you see him dying. So
it happens.
And he was a child, but he was such a son of a bitch.
He was not good. No. Did Tristan have a lot of questions about like?
He did. It's like I didn't put. It's not like we transitioned from Home Alone to like what's the one that he did?
Like Richie Rich.
Richie Rich.
Yeah.
Right, or whatever other movie he did. No, it's like let's watch The Good Son. As one does.
I think Party Monster might have been a little less impactful than Good Son.
That's true. Didn't he end up in a box in Party Monster?
No, in Party Monster, he puts Wilson Cruz's character in a box.
Oh, so Wilson Cruz has something in common with Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes, look at that. Yes.
Yeah. That's why, it's so weird that the other day I was watching, I was just killing time on YouTube, and I was like, let me watch the scene in Talented Mr. Ripley when Matt Damon kills Jude Law. It's been a while.
That's how you killed time?
Which, usually that's not something I would do because I'm not into, gory or bloody or anything violent, but I was like, I haven't seen this in a while, so...
Like, if you had told me you watched a scene where they're on a Vespa, I would have believed that, but not the one where he's getting killed.
Anyway, I'm tired already for Christmas. So we have to tell our listeners, because now, for those of you who've been on this ride with us for 6 seasons, we take a end of year, Christmas, winter, New Year hiatus.
Yep.
I mean, it's really only about a month.
But we need the month.
So we will be back. This is our last episode of season 6, our last episode of 2023. We will be back January 26th, 2024.
Yes. And with that said, that doesn't mean we're going away. We've got a treat that we're working on for you guys in the meantime that will be on our Instagram at some point during the hiatus. And also, of course, you can come to Pim Pam Pollo, which our last Pim Pam Pollo of this year is on this Friday, the 15th of December at Shoujo's Dojo, where we're going to make, that's the only place that we have the karage sandwich. And we're also going to be selling, again, talking about getting your gifts before Christmas. We're going to be selling our Lechong Life shirts there as well. So
yes.
So come on down.
Yes.
Get some sake, get some karage, and then get a Lechong Life, which is the only thing I said right now that doesn't even sound Japanese.
Who knows? Maybe some people in Japan are wearing our Lechong Life t-shirts.
This is true. I just didn't know how to say. I don't know how to say Lechong or life in Japanese, so I couldn't do it.
Well, even if we learn how to do it, we can't properly pronounce it. So
that's true.
Well, let's not even go there.
That's true. But you know what? We would probably be given an A for effort. I like to think that people appreciate when you attempt to honor their culture.
Yes. So anyway, well, that's it, everybody. Thank you again to all of our listeners for.
We're not going to do a last soda?
Being on this. Well, my last soda is to our listeners.
Okay.
We always give our last soda of the year to our listeners.
I know, but I just was making sure that we hadn't run over things, because I know you've been decorating that tree for 22 years, and you might be a little tired.
Did I run over something? Did I hit something?
Ran past, not run over,
So, this year was our 6th season of our show. So we're going to be hitting our 300th episode sometime next year, which is insane to us. But thank you to all of you who have been in the journey so far for 6 seasons. And, we say this all the time, but we don't take it for granted.
No.
We really, really appreciate it. We really appreciate when so many of you reach out to us and tell us your stories and tell us, things that you do, or things that the podcast has reminded you of, and whether it's time with family or things that you do. It really does mean the world to us. We don't take it for granted.
No.
And, hopefully next year we have a lot more exciting things. Next year maybe we'll do Pero Let Me Tell You Goes West again.
I was thinking about that. I'm like, I definitely want to go back to your cousin's house because, I love that kitchen.
Right. But you know what? I was thinking also, we could also go, Pero Let Me Tell You Goes to Texas.
We could. Why not?
Yeah. We haven't done Texas before. We've done West already a few times. We have Martha Darby in West, and we have Jenny Lorenzo, and we have Eddie. So we've selected some really good people that are friends and family at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna say we got some good family out there. Yeah.
But I think we should also go to Texas. But let me tell you, goes to Texas.
Listen, I'm always down for a road trip. You know that. And listen, at this point, you know what? Fuck it. Let's throw the commercial fryer in the back too, and let's just go and let's just have a pop up in the middle of Texas.
I am not doing King Kong Pollo in Houston, Texas.
How about in Austin, Texas?
No. You know what I want to say, right, when I say Houston, Texas, right?
It's Hillary Duff. I just can't think of the line right now.
How you doing, Houston, Texas?
Oh, you were thinking Selena. I was thinking Hillary Duff.
No, I was thinking Selena.
Oh, okay.
I've told you, I have ties to Houston. My
true.
dad's family lived in Houston, so we used to go to Houston a lot. And you know, I skated at the Galleria Mall in Houston.
I've never been.
The first professional baseball game I ever went to was to see the Astros at the Astrodome. So I have ties to Houston, and yeah. So let's see. You know, listeners. Well, I know we have some listeners in Texas,
Yeah.
for sure. But to all of our Texas listeners, where should we go? Should we go west? Should we go to Texas? Where should we go?
Yeah, let us know. And maybe, I don't know, maybe we can plan some type of live recording or something if there's enough of you.
Imagine if we get this, like, I don't know, like just a bunch of messages of people like, pero let me tell you, come to Wyoming.
If we get enough, I would go to Wyoming, because that is definitely,
God, for sure.
that's listener demand for sure.
Like, sure. Hi, welcome to Pero Let Me Tell You. We're in Wyoming. I don't know what two Cuban guys from Miami are doing in Wyoming, but we are going to find out through our adventures.
I'm sure that if we go to Wyoming, we can probably find like some type of elementary school cafetorium that we can just, rent out for a couple hours and record for like the 12 people that listen to us there.
I wonder if like the Cracker Barrel tastes better in these states.
I think it's more authentic.
Yeah?
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's more authentic in the South, but yes.
I've always told you. So here in Miami, we have a Cracker Barrel in Homestead, right? But I've always told you, like, in most parts of Miami, we can't have a Cracker Barrel.
Nope.
Because if I go to Cracker Barrel and Yuneki is taking my order, and Lacey, she's like, ¿qué tú quieres? ¿El puré de papa con el bistec con gravy?
Con las manzanas esas.
Con esas manzanas ahí, con canela, ¿quién come eso? And I can just imagine Yunari and Yuneki in the country store being like, mira que estos americanos les gustan todos estos peperes y todas estas cosas, It just will lose.
Yeah, the penny candy doesn't translate, no.
Yeah, I mean, listen. In another way, I would think it would be absolutely hilarious.
We would do an entire skit there, yes.
Yes, like, I would be like, I'm going to be here every week to document this. Actually, you know what I wanted to happen? Cracker Barrel Hialeah on Westland Mall. They have space now. Sears closed.
Oh, that's perfect. Let's petition.
Cracker Barrel data. And then, actually, you know what the Cubans would love?
What?
In the Cracker Barrel?
I'm trying to think. What would they love? Not the chicken fried
No hay
steak.
un cubano, or I would say cubano or Caribbean person que no le guste un buen sillón.
Oh, yeah, there would not be enough. There wouldn't be enough sillones in the front.
Sillón. And then, of course, your old Cuban would be like, estos sillones están buenos, pero no como que hacían en Cuba. Eso sí que era un sillón. Y eso duraba para la vida completa. Eso era por vida, esos sillones.
Imagínate,
Pero
mi abuela tenía la misma.
You give a Cuban un portal con un sillón and they're happy campers.
Yeah, the only thing that can make them happier is like una hamaca.
Yeah. No, un sillón. Un sillón con un portal. That's what they're all about. And the Cracker Barrel does have that.
That's true. But they would
So
have
at
to.
least
Okay.
the first impression will be good.
What I would say though, Cracker Barrel, again, listen, I do multicultural marketing. I know how to get them. You put the sillón, but then instead of those giant checkerboard things, you put giant domino. And now,
Well,
now you got it.
Now we're altering the brand.
You're adjusting. You're not changing.
Cracker Barrel Hialeah, the only Cracker Barrel that has Domino instead of checkers.
There you go. Isn't the KFC in Hialeah the only one that has something?
No, they have the original fryers, but that's...
Oh no, but wasn't there was something that like is the only something that has flan or something like that? Like isn't that?
Oh, they're the only KFC that has flan.
There you go.
Menu.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Flan on the menu. They have flan on the menu.
yeah. There you go.
But that would be great. Although I think the Cubans were like lo pancito.
Claro, we love
Ay,
bread,
estos pancitos son tan ricos. I'm like, oh, the biscuits with gravy. What is there not to love?
bro. I've had so much biscuits and gravy up here. It's like not even funny.
I went to the Cracker Barrel twice while I was in Orlando, and one day it was the first day. It was so good that before we left, I'm like, we have to go to the Cracker Barrel again, and we did. And then, of course, the second time wasn't as good as the first time.
Oh,
You know what I also did? You know where I also went in Orlando because they don't have in Miami
La
anymore.
Ponderosa.
Call me basic.
Shoney's.
Our listeners right now. Certain listeners that we know that listen to our show are doing the eye roll right now. My ass went to Macaroni Grill.
Oh shit, that's right. We don't have one anymore.
They all closed in Miami. My ass went to Macaroni Grill, and guess what? The rosemary bread with the olive oil tasted just as good as it always tasted. And I love the penne ruticana. I love it. I absolutely love it. So yeah, my basic ass went to Macaroni Grill. I'm like, I'm in Orlando. I'm going to Macaroni Grill.
Do what you want, baby. Do what you
I
want.
can hear the eye roll from a bunch of people right now that I know that are listeners that are like, oh, yeah.
Whatever. They don't pay your bills.
God, that rosemary focaccia at the Macaroni Grill, right out of the oven, when they bring you the little dippings of olive oil, oh, God. Who's going to tell me that that's not good?
A communist. That's the only people who wouldn't like it.
Well, we got off a tangent here, but bueno.
As we do.
Everybody, thank you so much for joining us this year. We have a lot of stuff for next year. This train is going to continue to roll.
Yeah, it is full stop. It is full speed ahead.
It's funny because we've already got a few comments from people that are like, "Oh, you've been doing the podcast for many years now. Like, do you see like wrapping it up anytime soon?" I'm like, "Nope."
Not really. I mean, look, everything's gonna have to end eventually, but I don't know when that is. You know, if you ask me right now, I don't have an end date.
Listen, if the Simpsons and Law and Order can go on, we can go on. We have a much smaller budget.
Yes, and he's saying that because next season an executive producer is going to be Mariska Hargitay of our podcast.
I'm totally okay for that. The sound effects of the show might change, but you know,
every episode starts with dung dung.
Yeah, it'll be funny if like we have a somber intro music. So everybody have a wonderful, wonderful holiday, a wonderful Merry Christmas. May you all eat a lot of lechon, but most importantly, we wish you a wonderful holiday, a wonderful Christmas with lots of joy and health and wonderful things for the new year.
Yes, absolutely, mi gente. Bueno, cuídense. Have a fantastic new year, and we'll be back in about a month.
Back January 26th, Friday, January 26th, 2024. Wait, let me just make sure that that's a Friday. I believe it's a Friday.
Did you just pull that date out of thin air? Like
Friday, January 26th, 2024.
Okay, there we go. It's confirmed. He just looked at a calendar, the Farmer's Almanac.
Bye, everyone. Have a great New Year, great Christmas.
Bye, gente. Bye. Pero Let Me Tell You is co-hosted by Darian Borges and Ismaeliano, produced by Ismaeliano, and our theme, Pero Let Me Tell You Freestyle, is composed by Michael Angelo Lomlaplex, the official gay guy. And don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes.